Hey YouTube and beyond. It is me, Chelsea Rose, also known as Lucid Rose, and I apologize for being a stranger lately. There's been some big changes in my life, which are good, they're awesome, but I'm still acclimating and currently working 2 jobs. For those of you that don't know, I work as an admin assistant in an office, and I'm also now working at a place called the Loaded Brush as an art instructor, pardon me, and yeah, so 2 jobs plus also doing massive amounts of art. So I'm having a hard time doing all that and also documenting and YouTubing and all of these things, and also like existing as a human being. So hopefully I can get a little bit better juggling some things. And there's bigger changes to come that I'm really excited about that I can't really divulge quite yet. So stay tuned for that. Intriguing, yes. But anyway, I just thought, you know, I'm on my patio garden drinking tea, hanging out after a very, very hot day in Portland, Oregon. And it's Monday. It was a hectic Monday at work, and all day long I was just picturing my patio garden. I mean, I know this is kind of silly, but I don't know, like, you know, simple things sometimes. Simple things are the best, and this is my little slice of peace and quiet and heaven, I guess. So here I am. And I thought, you know what? While I'm out on the patio garden, I should also do 2 tea stain prints. I have 2 orders that I need to fill of this month's limited edition hand tea stain print. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go do that on the patio garden while drinking tea. Oh, and I also need to do a YouTube video. So I was like, oh, let's kill like 3 birds with 1 stone, except actually no bird death, please. You know, that's shitty. But yeah, so I'm enjoying the patio, I'm drinking tea, I am arting, and I am videoing. Whoa! Check that out for multitasking stuff. But yeah, I have my art up locally. I have a bunch of my art up locally at the Goodfoot Gallery this month, which is awesome. It's actually a little pub in Portland, Oregon. So if you are local, check that out before it disappears, before my art disappears. I'm sure the Goodfoot will persevere. I'm working on a big mural panel that I'm painting, and I have a workshop coming up that I'm hosting. I'm going to be doing a body painting in a couple days. I mean, there's just so much that my brain's like rattled. I can't even list them off at the moment. So, let's talk about trivial things instead. It's hot. It's hot a lot, and the heat every summer, my mind starts going, maybe you should cut your locks. Maybe you should cut your locks. What do you think about maybe cutting your locks this year? And I go, yeah, that's a good idea. And then I don't do it because the idea ends up repulsing or scaring me. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I've learned to combat these boring mindsets by doing these things, which I've done a video about previously. They're known as Bantu knots or lock knots, and when you take them out, they're, you know, it's all spirally, but in the meantime, I got short hair, instant short dreads. What do you think about that? So this is like the perfect solution for me right now with the heat. So I'm really enjoying it, although I'm not happy about my bangs. I went to this really sweet lady across from where I work. There's a little salon, and my bangs were like down to here, and they were all ratty because that's how my hair gets when it gets anywhere past my shoulders. So I'm kind of dealing with that, but you know what? It's just hair. It's just hair. It grows back. Whatever. and maybe it's not so bad after all. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I don't know. We've all had bad haircuts, right? And then look, I kept this one down. I feel like it's like my Padawan lock or Padawan braid from Star Wars. You guys know what I'm talking about? Anyway, man, I feel like I've got to practice for doing this stuff. So let me blabber to you about my print for this month that I'm hand tea staining, and then you can watch me paint one. But let me show you one of the finished ones. Okay, so here it is. So it's a hand tea stained limited edition print of one of my original pen and ink drawings. This drawing was inspired by a beautiful, knowledgeable, funny woman named Narissa Irving, and you can check her out. She's on YouTube, she's on Facebook and Instagram. She's also Naturotica. So she does women's wellness knowledge campaigning, and she sells stuff like yoni eggs, which help you Kegel. And I don't know, she's an inspiration. She's beautiful. She has dreads down almost to her ankles, I believe, and she's just somebody I've followed over several years, and at some point I messaged her going, hey, I'd love it if you modeled for my Earth Goddess body painting series, which is an ongoing series that I've been doing for many years, where I paint women from head to toe and photograph them in nature, in Pacific Northwest nature. And I specifically pick my models based on variations of all body type, ethnicity, and age, because I want a good representation, thus showing and proving how beautiful and versatile natural healthy women can be, and also that connection that women share to Mother Nature. So anyway, I sent her my spiel, and I was like, yo, we should totally like collaborate on a body painting photo shoot sometime, and she said yes. And she recently contacted me saying, hey, I want to come to Portland and do the thing. And I was like, yes, let's do the thing. I'm super excited. And then she was like, well, I've been doing these workshops, these yoni popping workshops, women's wellness, knowledge, education workshops, and I think we should collaborate on one of those too while I'm out here. So I'm doing that, and my contribution is going to be discussing body positivity, and also actively cultivating body positivity and confronting body negative issues by group nudity. I know, hang out, hold on for a second. I'm going to be instructing people to strip from the head to the hips, and I'm going to guide everybody in a body painting exercise, and then at the end there'll be a questionnaire that discusses, at what points were we uncomfortable and why, and what points were we elated and why, and what can we apply to what we've experienced to our life and other times when we have felt this way, yada yada yada. So that's really exciting. If it happens. I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but I've tried really hard to get people motivated locally to show up, and so far I think we've only sold one ticket, and the event is a week away. Such is the price of trying new things, it's scary sometimes being an artist and trying new things. It's scary being anybody and trying new things, because there's the possibility that it doesn't take. But I'm telling myself that that's just part of the process of growing and evolving, and if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. But I think it's an interesting direction that I'd like to continue in. If I can find a niche and the interest, I would love to do workshops, all sorts of workshops. I just got to figure out which ones might work out. And but yeah, so anyway, I'll keep you updated. Narissa's supposed to be flying into town in just a few days. I'm so like excited but nervous, namely because I have a rule, and the rule is to try really hard not to meet people that I admire, because inevitably I do something or say something or something happens that makes me feel stupid or silly, and then the person goes away, and then I'm left with this like crappy memory, and then like every time I see a photo of them or listen to a song play of theirs, I'm like reminded of like the stupidness of like our interaction. But I'm telling myself that's not the case here, and it's a stupid rule, and it's fueled by fear, and that's another thing that I'm trying to like purge from my being, is acting in fear or not being active because of fear. So all of these things, guys. Oh my God. So anyway, I'm super excited. I'm super nervous and super excited that Narissa Irving is coming to visit, and I get to body paint her for my Earth Goddess series. And she said she's going to be bringing her mermaid tail that I would love to photograph her in. Anyway, yes, Narissa Irving. Check her out, NarissaIrving.com, I believe, and Naturotica.com. This was inspired when she did a photo shoot with that mermaid fin that she bought at the beach. And I was like, oh my gosh, mermaids! And she was posting about Yamaya, which I've heard about before, but I didn't delve too deep into exploring what that was. But it turns out it's an African, or it's the African goddess of the living ocean. And she is usually portrayed as a very voluptuous, full of life black mermaid. And it's just gorgeous and inspiring and an interesting look at mermaids, because mermaids are very dear to my heart. Mermaids are the first thing that I really passionately drew, and I grew up by the ocean in Venice Beach, and I was just constantly playing mermaid, and so I have a lot of, and then I like to explore my ancient ancestral roots, which, since I'm Irish and Austrian, is very like Nordic, Celtic-y stuff, and there's all sorts of interesting folktale about mermaids and things that have constantly just fascinated me, and that is a lot of, I think all of that fascination and inspiration is still present and visible in all of my art. So it was interesting. It was very interesting to have her talk about Yamaya, this new idea of an ocean goddess and a different origin. And the more I looked around the internet, the more I researched, I realized that every culture has mermaids. It's beautiful. It makes me very happy. And it just continues my whole thought process that, you know, we are all of the same philosophy, whatever we're calling our gods and goddesses or whatever. I think we kind of all, I don't know, I have an issue sometimes with organized religion, especially in the way that organized religion can sometimes pit other religions against each other, because like I said, I feel like we're all kind of in the end saying the same stuff about the same energies or whatever the hell it is. So anyway, Narissa inspired this by taking photos in her mermaid tail and talking about Yamaya. So this is Narissa. This is Narissa as a mermaid, and it's since she is coming this month to Portland, I thought it would be appropriate to create this as this month's limited edition hand tea stained print, which For those of you who follow me know that I blabber on about this every month. I do this every month. And I think you should get one. There's only like 7 left, I think, out of 10. So they're always a limited edition of 10, and then that's it. I don't do any more in this size, hand tea stained, so they're only $10, guys. So grab them up before they're gone, and that's on my Etsy shop, which is lucidopticlab.etsy.com. So go there. Go there right now. Well, actually, wait, no, don't go there yet. I want to show you my process for this one. So yeah, let's go to that. I'm gonna reset up my camera, and I'll do a tea staining. But these are definitely one of my favorites so far. Mermaids, yeah, Maya. Okay, the sun is going down, so I gotta be kind of quick about this. It's interesting, you know, since Narissa, I guess she is of Jamaican descent. She has actually a very light, very sweet color of her skin tone, and it's kind of hard to capture in tea, honestly. So I kind of invented this new technique for this specific tea staining, and it's layering the hibiscus, which is the tea that I just used to create a single tone on her skin. It's kind of drying bluish gray, and I'm going to add a little bit of rooibos on top of that, and the layering creates kind of a light brownish, I don't know, kind of vibe, which I think works well for Narissa's skin tone. So that's a little different than what I've done before. So that's kind of fun. I get to play with that new technique in things to come, purposely mixing the two, layering the two to create different colors. So that's that. I might come back to it and do a second layer, but I'm going to go ahead and just start working on the scales. I should probably move this so I don't keep reaching and blocking the view. Maybe this will be better. There we go. But yeah, oh man, it's been really hot in Oregon. Over the weekend it was in the hundreds, and we have a little AC unit that goes in your window, but we haven't taken it out because up to this point it's been pretty cold and rainy. So all of a sudden it's like summer's on, and honestly, I don't really appreciate heat. I grew up in Southern California. Luckily, I grew up near the beach, so there was always a nice breeze. But I don't do well in heat. My fair skin just burns. I don't tan. There's only so much clothes you can take off in today's society before you start getting arrested or charged with sex offending. So I prefer the regular Oregon weather where it's chilly and rainy and conducive to staying home and painting all day. And I guess global warming, you know, more and more. I've lived in Oregon for over 8 years now, and every summer just seems to get more intense. We've had some really nasty wildfires that have devastated some of the Southern Oregon community. So I really hope that we do get some more rain so that our forests are not in drought. We'll see. But I don't want it to rain when Narissa comes. We're gonna be painting out in the outdoors in the wilderness, doing the photo shoot, so that would not be good to be rained on. I mean, it might be a cool effect, but I don't really have the proper gadgets and gizmos to protect my camera from rain. Note to self to see how much it would be to invest in such equipment. But yeah, I don't know, it's been really hot. My point is, it's been really hot and I don't like it. But I came home from a lousy day at work, Monday, and Danny, my partner in crime, he had some handmade, hand-brewed, cold-brewed green tea that he then flavored with a bunch of herbs and berries that he picked from our patio garden exclusively. And does he not know the key to my heart is tea? So that was awesome. That's what I'm sipping over here. Should take another sip of that. Yummy. I think there is a couple raspberries in there from our patio garden, and some lemon balm, and some mint. I think he said something else, but I can't remember. But that's all from our patio garden. I'm lucky. I'm a spoiled brat. Okay, let's see. So now I'm going to start working on some of the jewelry. Again, I'm using rooibos chai, which is a red bush from Africa, and it makes a delightful tea, and I love to use it with the hibiscus because I think they just contrast themselves wonderfully. The rooibos has this wonderful golden stain while the hibiscus dries very cool. So anyway, so this is my process for this tea staining background, as I kind of just scribble around with the rooibos chai, because the drawing is kind of like she's floating through water, leisurely kind of stroking her hair, looking off into the distant sea, and there's like bubbles all around her, so she's not really, sitting anywhere. She's kind of floating leisurely. So I'm just kind of doing this to give the impression of waterish stuff happening around her. Some ambiance. See how loose and rough I am? I'm just kind of scribbling around. Sometimes if you be over intentional with paint or tea, it doesn't come out quite the way you hope, especially if you're going for something kind of organic feeling. Sometimes you do have to just almost close your eyes and scribble. So that's the effect that I'm getting here. And once that's done, I'm gonna do my favorite part of all tea stainings, which is when I splatter. Do some splattering. Which we should do now. I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush because I don't want huge drops. Alright, and with the hibiscus, I'm just gonna start doing some splatters. So each one of these limited edition hand tea stained prints comes out completely different each time. I mean, I can't really, the thing about tea, and much like watercolor and oh dear. Thing about watercolor and I guess painting in general is really you can't replicate exact results. So everything ends up one of a kind. So that's what I love about it. Everybody who grabs one of these ends up with something that's completely different. And you know that I've sat here playing around with tea on it. With honestly sincere joy and appreciation that I can be paid to do what I love and share it with people who love it in turn. So these are available on my Etsy shop for $10, lucidopticlab.etsy.com, or you can go to Chelsea Rose Arts, and there's links to my store there. Just giving it a little bit of extra color, maybe even use some of this to create some shadow down here. Alright, I'm think that's about done. Good thing too, because the sun's going down. So here are 2 prints. I will be shipping these out to some very sweet customers. These 2 ladies actually buy one of these every month. They are collectors, and they will never know how much it means to me. I'm very excited. So I thought it'd be fun to do like a really quick kind of tour of the patio garden. Not really, but more of just like, look at how small it is. And this is where I was painting, right over here. Step over the cat. Here's the little setup. And here's a close-up of my handiwork just a moment ago. Yep, and here's my little patio area, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen in many photos. And here's Smooshy. Smooshy! Hi! Say hi to everybody! He's like, what? Huh? Okay, just a quick goodbye. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in my patio garden. It's nice and cool, finally. It feels so good. And it's fun to have company while, company of sorts while doing some tea staining. I hope you enjoyed watching. And, couple things, as you know, as I've said multiple times, I have art available for purchase at lucidopticlab.etsy.com or go to chelsearosearts.com to find links to all sorts of goodies of mine. Also, I have a Patreon account. It would be amazing if you'd be willing to support me as I do this, and you know, just for the sake of supporting something you might enjoy. You know, I put out a lot of content, I try to, and I love it, and it means a lot to me when I see people connect. So if you're one of those people who connect and you have maybe like, I don't know, the amount that you spend on a Starbucks once a month, you can maybe put that amount towards me, just maybe 1 Starbucks drink amount to Patreon per month, and that'd probably get you quite a few perks. On my Patreon account, you get access to things like monthly art raffles and exclusive coloring pages and tea stain prints and all sorts of stuff. So it just means a lot to me, especially with the things that are coming up that I can't tell you about. Supporting me through Patreon would be huge. Even just like $1, like that'd be amazing. So I don't know, check it out. No pressure, really. I totally understand, but yeah, if you have a moment, check out patreon.com/ChelseaRoseArts and consider helping me out as I walk the path of a growing, evolving artiste. And stay tuned. Lots of stuff happening soon. Lots of news that I will be updating you with as things progress with the possible workshop, if it works out, the possible body painting photo shoot with Narissa, if that all comes out, and definitely the unveiling of my finished mural panel for the 6 Strong mural project, which, by the way, it is not too late to donate to. That's gofundme.com/6strong. It's a all-female feminist women empowerment mural project, specifically in Portland, Oregon, with female Portland, Oregon artists. And I have a panel that I did, and it's inspired by Sailor Moon and Frida Kahlo. So how could you not? Anyway, more on that. And gosh, this is fun. I feel like I could just talk to you guys for the rest of the night, but I gotta go. I'm getting hungry. On that note, much love, everybody. Bye-bye.